Alright, sorry kiddos, the other video cut off, but my phone decided it was going to stop recording for a moment. So I've already written down some of this, but I'm going to go back and talk about it again. So number 4, we're going to do all of page 24 together so that you can do page 25, okay? The top of page 25. So let's go ahead and try this out. So first I have to read the instructions. It says fill in the blanks. Important, done, read it. I know what's expected of me. It's also good for me to go over here and look at this little girl and see what she's telling me. She says line up the decimal points. Well, we learned that yesterday. That is extremely important as well. So let's look at our problem. Step 1 gives us the problem in vertical form. So remember that we are writing these in vertical form. So it tells me to add the hundredths. 4 hundredths plus 7 hundredths. I know that that is equal to 11 hundredths. Well, when I am adding vertically, I have to regroup. So in order to regroup the hundredths, 11 hundredths is equal to 1/10 and 1 hundredth. Okay, so that is what I've shown you up here vertically, and that is what we have written out here. Now, step 2. I'm going to go ahead and write what I already have written down so that I can continue on to that problem. Now I have to add the tenths. 3 tenths plus 8 tenths plus 1/10, which is the one that I regrouped, is equal to 12 tenths. Okay, because 3 plus 8 is 11, plus another 1 is 12. Now, that means that I have a 2 going in the tenths place and a 1 being regrouped to the ones place. So, regroup the tenths. 12 tenths is equal to 1/1 and 2 tenths. So, moving on past that, now I can move on to step 3. Step 3 is showing me that, oh, well, first let's add in what we have already filled in so that we have that. Okay, good. Now, step 3 is telling me that I now have to add the ones. Okay, so adding the ones, 2 ones plus 0 ones plus 1 1 is equal to 3 ones. Okay, so in this problem, obviously my answer is not 321. If you get a crazy answer after only adding two holes, 2 0 holes, and it somehow becomes 321, you have not done the most important thing, and that is to carry down the decimal. Okay, so now my answer becomes 3.21 or 3 21 hundredths. Okay, so this is how I would solve a vertical problem. So when we get over to page 25, you are going to do the top of page 25 by yourself using the steps that we just went through. I do want to do number 7 with you because it adds in an extra element that might throw you off, and that's the $sign. But before I do that, we're going to read the instructions. It says to write in vertical form. We know what vertical form is. If it helps, I can do this. Okay. Then add. So the first step in order to complete number 7 is I need to write these numbers in vertical form. Easy peasy. So I'm going to go over here to the space that they have given me. I shouldn't need an extra sheet. And I'm going to also draw the $sign with it. Okay. It's part of the number. So this is basically saying 57 cents plus, and I also line up my $signs, okay, 29 cents. So this would be like walking up and you and your friend putting your change together to try and go buy a soda or something along those lines. Now, I have put this in vertical form, I can add. So 7 plus 9 is going to give me 16. I'm going to carry. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 is 8. And obviously I don't have any in my ones place, so I only have 86 cents. This kind of looks like I've written it as $86, but the step that I forgot was to carry down my decimals. Now, when you are adding vertically, it is very easy to get your numbers confused. You might stick your 2 accidentally a little under the 7, and now you're adding in the wrong columns. The one thing I want you to double check before you add is to make sure your decimal points are lined up. That is how you're going to stay in line when you are adding decimals. Okay, so before you even begin adding, and even whenever you end, it might even be good to double check the fact that you have lined up your decimals, because that will help you to determine whether you have the correct form of an answer. So I'm going to go ahead and put my answer over here. So they have 86 cents. Okay, you're going to see a dollar sign again on problem number 9. So remember to add the dollar sign in whenever you are vertically aligning your numbers, and also make sure that, well, it's already there for you, so you don't need to rewrite it again. Okay, moving on to page 26. We have a number line, okay? Number lines have not gone away just because we're not in previous chapters. We still have to use them. So I'm going to read my instructions first. Derek hops 2 steps on each number line. I'm going to underline 2. Which decimal does he land on? Write the correct decimal in each box. So, I've read my instructions. They've given me an example. For each one, he is only jumping 2 steps. So here he jumped 2 and then he jumped a really big one. Okay? That's what they're wanting you to do. So let's figure out how I would accomplish this. Now, I have 1.26. He jumped from 10 and he jumped a total of 1.26. That doesn't mean that he jumped 1.26 and that I'm going to add that to 2.57. Okay? They're wanting you to take the original number. Okay? Are you working with me here? The original number, you're going to add 1.26 to that to get this number. Okay, that's how you're going to figure this one out. So let's do that first. That's our first step. So I'm going to take 10.0 and I'm going to add 1.26. Now notice, you might go, Mrs. Havens, your numbers are not lined up. They are. The point is that I have lined up my decimals. I'm going to add a 0. Remember, this is my placeholder 0. It's always there. It's invisible. I don't have to have it. But in this case, it helps me to make sure all of my numbers are in line. So I can go ahead and add 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 2 is 2. Carry down my decimal. 0 plus 1 is 1. Carry down my 1. So this number right here is 11.26. So when he jumped, Derek jumped, he jumped from 10 and he jumped all the way to 11.26. Now, I'm going to take this number because this is obviously where he started from to take his second jump. And I'm going to add 2.57 because that's where he landed. His jump was a total of 2.57. If you want to think about it in feet, inches, centimeters, that's fine. There is no unit there, but if that helps you to kind of think and picture this little boy jumping that distance, that is fine. Now, I'm going to do the same thing that I just did. You seem to have plenty of room on your workbook page to do this. If you think you might run out of room, it might be best for you to use a separate sheet of paper. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to work out this problem. So my larger number will go on top, and then I'm going to line up my decimals. So 2 is going to go in the ones place, and I'm going to write my tenths and my hundredths. So that was easy peasy. 6 plus 7, 13. I'm going to carry. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. I'm going to go ahead and bring down my decimals so that I don't forget. 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 1. So the number he landed on, it should make sense. It's not quite 14. He landed on 13.83. Your number that goes in this box, your final number, should make sense based on your number line. Obviously, if I got 14.83, that would not make sense because the where he landed is before 14. So if you get a number that doesn't make sense with your number line, you're going to want to go back and check to make sure that your work is correct. Okay, so that is what you're going to be doing for Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's go back and discuss those pages again. You're going to be doing page 23. We've already done page 24 together. 25 and 26. Those are the pages you're going to be working on for Tuesday and Wednesday.